Man, y'all gonna get the straight, raw, uncut, man. So this is my first time actually sharing my experience. I'm glad to be on this platform, man.
Already, bro.
So
I'm glad to have you. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I'm glad to have you, bro. So tell us a little bit about yourself, before we go ahead and dive into the whole prison sentence and everything. Tell us about yourself.
So, man, I'm just a grinder, a hustler. Like, like I do this stuff for my family. You feel me? It ain't just about me. It's just I want to see myself elevate. So I got goals, and I want to see myself outside of like that prison lifestyle. Like I don't let it get to my mentality. Like I'm very hard working, dedicated. I'm just a man out here in this world trying to find his purpose in this world. You feel me? So, and I feel like I can't leave until I complete that mission. So
I know I heard you. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I heard you say that you're from Louisiana. All right. When did you come from? The boot to the H?
I came. I want to say between the age of 7 and 8. So I ain't come down here like I ain't migrate or whatever. I ain't come after Katrina or nothing like that. I actually came before.
So you're not a Katrina baby?
No, I'm not a Katrina baby. No, I ain't none of that. It's more so like, man, y'all gonna think that, oh, that's why he's in prison or whatever he went. But I got actually expelled. I got expelled.
While in the boot?
Yeah, in the boot, man.
Okay.
I was one of them kids that I get bored fast. So,
I'm gonna be real, I was in a lot of trouble in school growing up.
Yeah.
But I ain't never got expelled.
I got expelled and I got sent to a couple alternative schools. So, like, I ain't gonna lie, I came from a separate household. So, like, when my mom and dad split up, it had a toll on me. So like it messed with my mentality because I always wanted a 2-parent household, and we live in America, especially in a black household. You either got one or the other. You either got your mother or you got your father. So like that really meant something to me. So I always wanted a family. So when my parents split and I went to the boot with my mom and my sisters and brothers, and I had to leave my dad behind, it kind of took a toll on me. So like, I grew up in that household. Mom been to prison. You feel me? My dad was one of the biggest drug dealers in Louisiana at the time. My grandparents, I had to stay with them for a time. And y'all know how that be. If you ever stay with your grandparents, you know how that be. You got your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, might even got your uncles, maybe got your auntie, whatever they do to keep the family close, you feel me? So, but a little about that story, whatever, I got expelled because like I used to fight a lot. So whether I'm fighting students, hell, I even fight a teacher if I had to. You did me wrong type shit. So
I ain't gonna lie, you wild. That's definitely wild. But fighting is, that's something every I feel like adolescent does. Especially a young man. We get them hormones and we learn to control them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so not only that, but middle schoolers, elementary students, shit. High schoolers especially, they can be harsh.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Kids don't have any filter. They don't have any reason to lie to you. Not only that, but they don't have any reason to be nice. So definitely some character carving going on in the school system.
Definitely. So
tell me, have you ever gotten into a fight with a teacher though?
Oh, most definitely. I got a fight with a couple of them. Actually, what led me to after I got expelled, I just want to stay with my grandmother. Rest in peace to Zenobia. I think about you every day. I can still see you when you used to walk me to school on the corner, with your comb in your hair and stuff, and you watching, making sure no kids mess with me because you set it off. Oh, yeah. So, but I want to stay with her. My dad came to pick me up, and then he brought me to Houston. So, like, remind you, I've been back and forth growing up as a child, but I really think I found my place when I came to Houston. So I used to live off Corporate Drive. If anybody y'all know that's right there between BeachNet and Bissonnet. Shout out to the hoes on the blade and stuff like that. I know they moved y'all over to West Belford, but I used to see y'all, bro. I used to see y'all at a young age, bro.
That's a whole nother segment. So go ahead though.
So yeah, like when I came, I went to school at Bush Elementary. So my first, that's
where is that at?
That's right there. It used to be 7306 type shit, but now it went from 73010 type shit. So now,
and for the people that don't know, like for the people that don't understand that lingo, explain to them where, like, you got to explain to them where in Houston. You know what I'm saying? Where is that in the city? Okay. Is that coming more so out of Houston and touching like what's considered Southwest?
Okay.
And going into that side, or is that going up to like the north side? Is that South Union area, like, or is that like Pearland? Like where we at with that?
Okay, so we in the Southwest.
Okay.
We in A-Leaf, Texas. You know, anybody know about A-Leaf? We got the apple, man.
Okay.
So, you know, but
so that's like not to cut y'all. That's like where Maxo Cream from.
Yeah, you know.
Who else we got outside? Sosa Man.
We got Sosa
right.
Man.
Who else we got? Shout out D Flowers, bro.
D Flowers.
I know
man.
she love my demeanor. Could tell I'm a thug when she be.
You just put me on,
man.
But hey, you know, shout out to them guys, man. We had a lot of people that came from A-Leaf, man. So you know, we got the Bennett twins that came out there.
What year is this, by the way? But when you out there in A-Leaf?
When I was out there in A-Leaf, I want to say between the years of 2006 all the way up until 2012.
2006, 2000. Okay.
So I was out there for a good little minute. I spent my elementary years, and for those who don't know, sometimes you don't just go to middle school. You might go to intermediate. So I went from Bush Elementary to Owens Intermediate, where it's just only but 5th and 6th graders, and then I transitioned to middle school, which is A-Leaf Middle School, man. I feel like it's the best middle school. You know, I mean, shout out to O'Donnell, shout out to Killos. Shout out to Hollop, shout out to Albright, but A-Leaf Middle
It's
School,
the best one.
We had the best one, you feel me?
What made it the best out of the rest? I just gotta know.
It's just the people, man. I say the people, like the people is what brought us there. Like it was really like a family environment. Like we had a lot of memories, a lot of jokes, man, a lot of fights, but at the end of the day we stuck together. Like we ripped our school like it was our turf pretty much. So
okay,
that's what I like about A-Leaf Middle School, man.
What's your transition like coming from the boot to the, you know what I'm saying, to the Lone Star State? Was it hard, you know what I'm saying, as far as like the kids picking on you because like your accent, or did you have like, I just want to know, did you have the stance like young boy with the legs? Was they messing with you because of that?
Hey, dog.
Or was it you know what I'm saying, anything like that? Like what was it like? Were they picking at you?
Nah, not more so. It's just like, you know how it be.
That's where the fighting stem from.
You know, when you new and stuff like that, everybody want to, you know, get to know you, like get a feel for you, like see what type of person you are. Like, is it really like what they say the narratives is when you from Louisiana and stuff like that? Like we always saying woody and who and all this type of goofy stuff, but nah, like the transition actually it went well, so I actually was able to fit in pretty quite well and stuff like that. So it wasn't bad at all actually.
Where do you think the fighting came in play at then?
The fighting came from just me, because I feel like I always had a chip over my shoulder. Like, I'm not gonna cap, I used to get bullied in Louisiana and stuff like that until eventually I had to stand up for myself. So I feel like I just have to keep fighting, whatever, because, you know, I'm fighting for a purpose. I don't just fight just because I'm mad or angry, which that does stem from a lot of people's problems, but it's just more so like I just feel like I had a chip on my shoulder. I always feel like I had to prove myself, so I just prove through fighting.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Did you have any siblings?
Yo, I got at the time I had 4 other siblings. Like, you know, now I still got my two newest additions and stuff like that. Shout out to him and Josh. But I had 2 brothers and I had 2 sisters. Me being the 3rd oldest or whatever. So, you know, you got my brother Darren, he's the oldest. You got my sister Mook, she's the 2nd oldest. Then you got myself, then you got my sister Nana, and then you got my younger brother Jalen. So yeah, I got 2 brothers and I got 2 sisters. But Darren being the oldest, Mook being the 2nd oldest, then it's myself, then it's my sister Nana, and then it's my brother Jalen. And then the later on addition is Heaven and Josh.
Okay. So, okay.
Well,
so you where do you fall in that pack? You the middle?
Yeah, I'm the middle child.
The middle child.
I'm the middle child, but you know, I wasn't always with my siblings. I was with them in the beginning of the years, and then when I came to Houston, I was here by myself majority of the time.
All right, because that falls into my next question. I wanted to know, do you believe in like middle child syndrome?
Oh, I definitely do.
Okay.
It definitely plays a part, man. It's just you gotta find that balance, because it's just like, you know, the oldest is supposed to, he gonna get the most backlash if anything happens. Like, he gotta play that leader role. And then you got the youngest, who is pretty much kind of like the favorite, because they the baby. So you trying to find that balance, trying to get your family to, you know, to love you as equal, which I'm not saying most parents don't, but it's just like you kind of do feel like an outsider sometimes, because you right dead in the middle. It's half and half. You trying to find that balance.
Definitely, bro. I'm gonna be honest with that baby, bruh. It's not like it used to be, huh? Like, bro, I got a little brother. I got a younger brother. He actually just turned 19 yesterday. Shout out to my younger brother.
Okay.
But bro, it's not like it was when I was his age, bro. When I was in high school, when I was fresh out of high school, bro, it was Man, I was still getting whoopings damn there.
Right.
Like they was still practicing Spetteroy Spoil the Child on my ass. Like it was different, bro. So it's like today in today's age, I just think that's funny as hell. You know what I'm saying? Times have changed. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
They no longer beat that ass.
Nah, they don't, man. They rather tell you get up out my face before I hurt you.
Did you get a lot of discipline growing up? Like, was your father and your mother, did they discipline you heavily?
Or most definitely.
Grandma?
Oh, most definitely. Them whoopings back then compared to now.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like I was getting beat like a slave, man. Like it was definitely. I definitely learned mannerism over the years, man. It's definitely yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. That's the all of those. You don't do none of that, man. Shoot. Hey, man. Matter of fact, if you don't mind, let me tell you a quick story about whoopings, man.
I don't mind at all.
Like, man, my granddaddy, I used to get the worst of the worst, man. Man, you ever been in your OG's house, man? Them whoopings is something serious. They still believe they still like in the 60s and the 50s. They whipping like that, bro. So, like, man, I remember one time I got in trouble for getting suspended at school. And like back then, as a kid, I don't see why kids don't like to go outside because everything used to go outside. You used to got the females, man, your homeboys used to go outside. There was no cell phones.
Right. We had cell phones around, but we didn't really have access to. Right. Well, I know me personally, I didn't have access to a cell phone until I was like 16.
Right. See, 15, so like we outside, everybody riding bikes. You at the basketball court. You at the park. You at somebody's house on a trampoline. It's a lot of stuff going outside, man. Y'all outside today is going to the clubs and hookah lounges and bars and stuff like that. We say we outside. We outside on the bike
corner. We playing basketball. Right. We walking around the neighborhood. Like, exactly. You had to get outside.
So, so like my thing was, okay, so my OG was just like, he's just like, you got two options. Either you can go on punishment for 2 weeks, you can't go outside, can't play the game. Basically, once you get out that school bus, you come in, take a shower, eat, do your homework if you got any.
What you do again? What did you do to get in trouble again?
I got suspended at school for fighting, man. I think I had fought a teacher that time. So my OG was just like, man, you got two options. Either you can be on punishment for 2 weeks, you can't go outside, can't play the video game, can't watch TV. All you do is come home, do your homework, eat, take a shower, and go to bed. That's it. Or I can give you 10 licks for one of his leather belts. Nah, and I'm telling you, like,
I'm taking 10 every time.
Now, exactly. Now you see why I became tough like I am now.
Every time.
Man, them leather belts, this real leather now. This ain't pleather, this ain't cotton, this ain't none of this. Yeah. This one of them leather, cowboy belts. Like, yeah. So I was just like, he was just like, you can make that decision. So I was just like, you know what? I like going outside. My crush outside, my homeboys outside. I want to go have fun. Fuck it. I'll take that beating if it come with fun then. So I took the 10 licks. Now, he had only one rule. He said, if you take the 10 licks, you flinch and I miss, you start back over. So I could be all the way down to 10, almost 10. I could be at 9. I flinch, I go all the way back over. So I'm like, man, I'm going to take the 10 licks. So he don't let you go choose the belts. Because if anybody tell you, you might went and got my mom belt or something like that, you probably would have went and got a small one. Now, he went in there and did it himself. He got one of the big, thick, long leather belts. So I ain't gonna lie, my pawpaw, he about every bit about 6'4", 6'5", maybe even 6'6".
You gotta explain to the people why that's important. Now 6'6" come with a mean reach.
Right, so.
All right, so that reach, that's that cock back. That's that recoil.
He cocky back. So I'm letting, he extendo. Yeah. He extendo, so. All right, so best. So I take the 10 licks.
That's that Jordan from the free throw line.
He definitely, man. I'm telling you, jaw with it. So, he tell me stick my hand out. I'm like, all right, bet. I stick my hand out. So as soon as I see him finna come down, I'm like, man, hell no. I take my hand back. He like, all right, so you in the negative right now. So I'm like, sheesh. So I'm already in the hole one. So I'm saying like, man, let me go ahead and prepare myself. So I stick my hand out. He hit me one time, boy, I feel like, boy, somebody popped a firecracker in my hand. All you hear is whap. I'm like, rubbing my thighs and trying to find any lick of comfort I can, bro. So I'm like, all right, bet. I got 9. I got what that is. I was in negatives. All right, so back, I'm in 0. So boom. He go again. I'm all right, bet. Come on. Man, when I tell you this, the second one, I started to see my skin peel off. I'm like, man, I don't know if I could do this. I should have just went on and took the 2-week punishment. So I take it. So bet. So man, I got 9 more. So at this point, I'm like, man, I'm just gonna thug it out. I got the tears coming out my eyes and stuff like that. Snot coming out my mind. I ain't nothing but 7, 8 years old. So boom, he whapping. I'm down to like 6 at this point. Like I got 4 more. I'm in this mug hoping and hollering. Like, man, somebody done shot me. Like, I'm oh lordy. Like, man, I'm in here crying. So boom. So I'm like, I'm seeing my hand bleed, skin coming off as he whapping. I'm like, man, for this chick outside, boy, she better love me afterward, because I took a beating for you just to see. Shout out to Brittany, by the way. You know, I wrote a song about her and stuff like that, but that's another story. So we get it over with. He tell me, man, don't get suspended no more, and I can go outside, man. So, you know, I had to wipe my tears off, stuff like that, go outside and tell the homies and my chick, yeah, man, I just, you know, a thug, like, this ain't nothing. Whole entire time, I'm crying in the inside. I'm done. I feel like, man, I just got shot like 10 different times in the hand. I feel like, right, man, I see what the boys were talking about. Man, slavery ain't no joke, bro. You don't never want to get a whooping from Papa, bro, but I definitely learned my lesson from that day.
Man, so then, go.
Man,
so going into, and then what's crazy is like, well, I don't know if this applies for you, but like as adolescents, we know that I got whoopings too growing up. You know, I definitely, like I said, they practice federal sport a child on me.
Yeah.
So and it's crazy because we know that like we gonna get our ass beat.
Right.
But we still choose to act ass, bro. Why do you think that is? Oh,
it's just more so, bro. People don't understand, like, when you growing up, it's a learning experience. Like, life is really like a freestyle. Like, you born into this world and you just freestyling. You only got one life to live, and you can only live your life how you know how to live your life until you find that purpose. So I found my purpose, you know, within God. I'm still searching. I'm still finding, like, what is my purpose? So you're going to go through trials and tribulations. You're going to do things, and that's where lessons come in from. So it's just like when your parents say, don't touch the stove when it's hot because you're going to burn yourself. And you won't never know until you go touch that stove, and then you see that it's hot. Okay, so mom and daddy was right. Like, if I touch that stove, I'm gonna burn myself. So then you know that, okay, that stove hot. I don't want no business with it. I don't want to burn myself. I don't like the feeling of it. So,
what age did you start seeing yourself drift off into like what they call now jumping off the porch, I guess? You know what I'm saying?
I would say I started doing that probably by the age of 10, because like when I came down to Houston, like my dad, he works for the city of Houston, so some days he might have a late week, or sometimes he might just be working OT. So I'm just like, I'm at the crib by myself. I ain't got nothing to do, so I'm gonna just go run the streets, see what the streets like.
It's an idle mind. An idle mind is a dangerous mind.
Exactly.
It's dangerous. So
I went out there and started experiencing. So
would you say that you were influenced by anything, or do you think it was just coincidental, or that it was just the environment? I guess you could say, well, do you think you were influenced by the environment?
I would say most definitely. I would say I was probably experienced by the environment, just where I was at the time, because at the time where I was growing up at A-Leaf, you know, you had a lot of gang wars. So, you know, you had a lot of, it's a high crime rate. You got people breaking their houses, stealing cars, you know, just we all outside with it. You just never know.
So you just touched on, so you say you got a high gang rate around that time. I remember that time.
Oh,
that's really when like the cliques was right. The cliques and the, you know, they were going dumb. I know the gangs were definitely, you know what I'm saying, in the area and moving around, but I know the cliques for sure.
Oh yeah.
They for sure were jumping. At any time did you see yourself drifting into like the gang lifestyle or like cliques or anything like that?
Oh, most definitely. Like I found myself in a lot of trying to join cliques. Either I was joining clique, or even if it was just me joining the gang shit. So around my neighborhood, we had a lot of blood. So I found myself hanging out with a lot of blood, because the guys that I was hanging out with, they were high schoolers. They was either high schoolers or somewhat in college. So I was hanging around them a lot. So they was just like my role models growing up at the time. So those were kind of like the people I looked up to.